A man who tried to return a purchase he made with a vendor on 14th Street Northwest ended up getting into an argument with the seller, who police say ended up pulling out a machete and attacking his customer. Police were called to the stand outside the Columbia Heights Metro Station and found the victim suffering from laceration wounds. The vendor, 81-year-old Julian Bueno, was arrested and charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. The Dow futures up 211 points at this hour. The NASDAQ futures are up 185 points. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox 1 is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I met Peter.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox 1.
In the mood for a girls' night? Mohawk Casino Resort. But if you're feeling like a candlelit couples date, well, Mohawk Casino Resort. But when you just want the thrill of winning a chunk of change, you guessed it, the everyday escape, Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, where you can join these winners. And just won $11,005. Guy won $13,953. Dawn won $14,227. Richard won $12,128. And Valerie won a whopping $26,488.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. You now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic and weather. Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
270, no late problems, but we do have the volume delays on the spur, and this takes you onto the outer loop across the American Legion Bridge. Silver Spring toward Colesville, crash closes the westbound side of Randolph Road just after New Hampshire Avenue over to Sherwood Forest Drive. Southbound 95 in Woodbridge, crash activity remains to the shoulder. Lot to check out, and that's what gives us delays just after Lorton into Woodbridge. 295 northbound is jammed to the work zone already set up near Malcolm X Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
We'll go with the partly sunny day all in all. Temperature-wise, still in the low 80s, which is below average. We'll take it. Still feeling pretty comfortable out there. 60s overnight as we head into the evening tomorrow. Low to mid 80s for your Friday. Mostly sunny skies. A great way to launch into the upcoming weekend. I'm 7 News Senior Meteorologist Brian Vandegraff in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now it is 71 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing DC to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness and includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last.
Yes, President Trump taking on crime in our nation's capital. He is the president of the United States, after all. We are not the safest city in the world. That's for sure. And in fact, I've got a machete story for you today because, you know, Ungala Balungala, amazing stuff. A man attacked in the Columbia Heights neighborhood of Washington, D.C., a couple of miles from where we live. And a street vendor selling stuff from a table sold something to another man. The man came back a short time later, said, this is not what I had wanted. I'd like to return this. So naturally, the man whipped out a machete and hacked the man with the machete. And the Democrats shrug and say, well, you know, that's what cultural diversity means. That's is an ethnically rich, culturally diverse neighborhood Julian Bueno. Julian No Bueno, I think, is going to be his name from now on. 81 years old, was arrested and charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. I think a machete might even be called a deadly weapon. What did you say? But so we got that going on in Washington, D.C. That's right. President Trump was talking about the Doge member, the member of Doge, who I talked about him yesterday, who was viciously beaten by a mob of Democrats on almost the same neighborhood, not too many blocks from where this machete attack took place, where Julian Bueno, he's 81 years old. You're never too old to be deadly, never too old to. But this one got my attention this morning because I learned only this morning while I was researching for my big radio show, I discovered that in Australia, it's not only a country, it's a continent. It's both. It's a continent and a country. It's two in one. And in Australia, where they effectively banned guns, at least most guns banned in Australia, and you had to go turn in your guns because the state taking them from you. And that's the plan they have. This is how, now that when the Democrats talk about this is what authoritarianism, rising authoritarianism looks like. This is what actual rising authoritarianism looks like. But in Australia, they have effectively banned almost all firearms in private hands. Kind of an amazing thing. But now in the province of Victoria, they're going one step further because sometime back there was a person that was stabbed and killed. So you'll never guess. This is exactly what people have been, conservatives been talking about for a long time. This is what authoritarianism looks like. They've now banned machetes. They should ban machetes in Washington, D.C., because an 81-year-old Julian Bueno, he attacked a man with a machete and severe lacerations, taken to the hospital and all that stuff. That's okay. We haven't banned machetes yet. Maybe next. But Victoria, Australia sets up machete drop boxes. And you got to see the pictures. They're like the blue mailboxes that we, have in the United States. Do we still have those? I think we do. Australia, but in Australia, they're banning machetes, and when they say machetes, they actually mean knives as well, because you can't have a machete, you can't have a knife because it could be too dangerous if you had one of those. And they've set up drop boxes, and they've got a timeline for you to drop off your machetes in the blue metal drop box. Amazing stuff. The Victoria machete ban and disposal bins rolled out. Isn't that great? And then they've got knives that they're calling zombie knives because you got to give it a scary name. You have to have a scary name because you're banning them. Zombie knives, and then, see, it's not just machetes. Then zombie knives, they're banned too. Here we have ghost guns. Australia, they have zombie knives. They've banned them. They've set up drop boxes so you can go drop off your machete or your zombie knife, which are now illegal. Now that guns are illegal, take away your guns. Now they're coming for your knives. And this is the most extreme of the extreme, but, welcome to North Korea. Australia is morphing and not for the better. When Barack Obama promised the fundamental transformation of America, he, to his credit, he never did say it was going to be for the better. He just said it was just going to be the fundamental transformation. Better schmetter. He's not all about that. Oh, speaking of Democrats, you see they love to call everybody Nazis, right? Everybody's a Nazi, everybody's a fascist. Well, the Democrats launched there's another funny story out of, another funny crime story out of Washington, D.C. before I move on to the next thing. A tow truck driver in Washington, D.C. was carjacked. And and you don't do a tow truck driver. Tow truck driver generally, pretty tough guy out on the streets of D.C. doing tow truck stuff. Tow truck carjacked. That's the headline. It was the driver that was carjacked. Tow truck carjacked by a man armed with a rock. A rock. We're going to have to ban rocks now. In Northwest Washington, D.C. I live in Northwest Washington, D.C. It's not very big. But a tow truck driver was carjacked. I'm going to add the word driver to the writing at the ABC station here. A tow truck driver was carjacked late Wednesday evening, and Metropolitan Police Department officials are still looking for the person responsible. Listen to this now. The car was stolen at the intersection of Missouri Avenue Northwest and Kennedy Street Northwest about 8:40 p.m. according to the Metropolitan Police Department. The victim told police that he was approached by a man with a rock. They've finally done it. We're going back to the Stone Age because the Democrats, it's like meet the Flintstones. The Flintstones have attacked Washington. The Democrats have returned us to the pre-Columbian era. I've been talking about this, how they're dragging us back to pre-Christopher Columbus times in the North American continent. Isn't it amazing? Anyways, Yabba Dabba Doo, he's running away with his feet going through the floorboards, pushing the tow truck along Kennedy Avenue. Yeah, isn't that amazing? The victim told police approached by a man with a rock, and he threatened the driver with a rock, pulled him from the car, right? And he stole the vehicle and fled. Vehicle was taken in the incident as a black Ram 4500 Alpha tow truck. That's a nice Ram truck, really great truck. And wait, this might be my favorite part. And they got the license plate number here in case you're looking for it. Authorities are searching for a man. This man, and listen to the description they give of the man. Searching for a man who was last seen wearing a black ski mask and a gray shirt. Oh no, he might be an ICE agent. The Democrats think he might be an ICE agent because he's, who else wears a mask? Oh yeah, Democrats, criminals, ICE, ISIS, and terrorists that get Hamas. They wear masks. Yeah, they're searching. This is what is the man? Tall, short, fat, skinny, black, white. No mention of that. He was just wearing a black ski mask. Couldn't possibly tell any other information about him because the gloves and the neck brace and the what is it? So a black ski mask and a gray shirt. So keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen, for somebody wearing a black ski mask and a gray shirt, because that's the description that has been given. Isn't that great?
Checking on the rock market, huh, Bonnie?
So in Australia, they're banning machetes and scary knives after having already banned guns, in effect. And the Democrats want to use the Australian model for banning guns here in the United States of America. They're not on our side. They are the Flintstones. And this guy, they're definitely looking for a Democrat wearing a black ski mask with a gray shirt. Was he last seen holding a rock? Shouldn't that be in the description? Because if you're looking for the guy, that'd narrow it down lickety-split. Not everybody's carrying a rock in their hand, but this guy is. He might be that carjacker. Isn't that amazing? And since they're banning machetes in Australia, maybe we should send them this story, and they could ban rocks. But the Democrats see a ski mask, and they think it must be federal law enforcement doing the job. Amazing stuff. Also in the local news today, and this one is quite remarkable as well. It genuinely is. There is a story that is broken. A conservative investigative reporter broke the story that in Fairfax County, Virginia, Fairfax County Public Schools tells News 7 reporter Nick Minnick that they're launching an investigation into claims that school staff in Fairfax County, Virginia, arranged for abortions for 2 different students and didn't tell their parents. The students were girls. They were girls. They were not boys, but Democrats might not be entirely sure. The story's blown up on social media. A report says that school officials in Fairfax County Centerville High School arranged and bankrolled abortions for girls, plural, without so much as a phone call to the parents, because they're here to kill the grandkids. No more students for Fairfax County. We killed them all in the womb. But they did harvest their organs. You know how they love to harvest organs. The Democrats really do. Amazing stuff. Report said that the 2 girls, that at least one of the 2 girls involved was 17 years old, not of the age of majority. And, oh no, I'm preggers. And they said, oh, no problem. We'll have a fundraiser at lunch with the teachers, and then we'll steal you away to the Planned Parenthood clinic, and we'll get you a nice abortion. And the parents won't get any grandkids, but shh, they won't know anything about it. It's just a secret between us. And now, who did a teacher? Maybe was a teacher responsible for knocking them up? They haven't gotten into that. Fairfax County schools replied when asked by Channel 7 in Washington. and they had to put the word "our" in parentheses, not to our knowledge. So you ask, hey, did the teachers secretly arrange for 2 abortions for teenage girls and not tell the parents? And they say, not to knowledge. And Channel 7 had to put the word "our" in there. Maybe they're illiterate and they can't put a sentence together. We've launched an immediate investigation into these concerns. And as soon as we are made aware, again, this is illiterate. This is the statement from the school. The statement from the school to Channel 7 reads, not our knowledge. We have launched an immediate investigation into these concerns as soon as we were made aware. There we go. Okay. We have launched as soon as we were made aware. Okay. There we go. Channel 7 News also asked Fairfax County Public Schools for their standard operating procedure. Yeah. When a student inquires about an abortion and says, hey, Mr. Sullivan in the science class knocked me up. Abortion with a Fairfax County Public School employee. Although Fairfax County Public School policy states, every effort shall be made to encourage and support students, suspecting pregnancy, to discuss their concerns with their parents or guardians. It does not require or even suggest that Fairfax County Public School employees should inform the parents about these conversations. They're having conversations. Isn't that amazing? So that's the teachers, 2 down. How many more to go? More parking for everyone. The Democrat Party. This is the Democrat Party. Amazing stuff. And as to the Democrat Party, while it was definitely a Democrat that carjacked the tow truck driver using a rock like a Stone Age pre-civilizational criminal. Police are looking for a Democrat. And then we had the 81-year-old Mr. Bueno, Julian Bueno, hacking up a man with a machete on 14th Street in Washington, D.C. Not a big thing. And then the Democrats in Fairfax County getting, knocking off the grandkids at school because they're good at all that, aren't they? We've got more crazy because in St. Louis, the St. Louis area in Missouri, the Democrats are on the attack again. And this time, there's a Jewish family. Surprise, surprise. One of the men in the family has dual U.S.-Israel citizenship and went to serve a stint in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, the military there, which is required of all Israeli citizens. And just came home, apparently, from Israel. 3 cars at their house firebombed and spray-painted graffiti in the middle of the street. You know, they love fighting fire with fire. And the Democrats firebomb a lot of Jews, don't they? While they're calling everybody Nazis. No sense of irony. And spray painted in the middle of the street in front of the Jewish family's home. Death to the IDF, death to the IDF, death to the IDF. And the hero of the Democrats, who's a jihadi, Mahmoud Khalil, he did an interview. Was it a sit-down interview? It was, with the New York Times, and you'll never guess what he had to say. Mahmoud Khalil, firebombing the Jews, the family in Missouri, St. Louis, and death to the IDF. I got a few Democrat stories coming up for you today. We remain at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. We still have delays coming out of Lorton into Woodbridge. Crash remains on the right shoulder. A lot to check out. It's now roadwork slowing the Beltway Outerloop off the spur across the American Legion Bridge. Road crews are set up 295 northbound at Joint Base Anacostia Bowling. Delays just north of the Beltway. Montgomery County westbound Randolph Road remains closed just west of New Hampshire Avenue for the crash. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly sunny and pleasant today with a high of 84, partly cloudy skies overnight, low 66.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox 1 is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
All in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox 1.
In the mood for a girls' night? Mohawk Casino Resort. But if you're feeling like a candlelit couples date, well, Mohawk Casino Resort. But when you just want the thrill of winning a chunk of change, you guessed it, the everyday escape, Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, where you can join these winners. And just won $11,005. Guy won $13,953. Don won $14,227. Richard won $12,128. And Valerie won a whopping $26,488.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Here's a brief message from industry. This ad is brought to you by GSK. We invite you to visit hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com to explore data and resources. That's hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com. Thanks for listening to the message from industry.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a leash, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes, you need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Come one, come all. Step into a world of wonder full of laughs and sweetness. Head to 7-Eleven and Speedway stores to enjoy summer's brightest moments and experience a circus of flavor with the new cotton candy flavor of 5-Hour Energy Shot. Astound and amaze your taste buds with sweet, fruity clouds and a hint of vanilla, plus B vitamins, nutrients, and caffeine. You'll be ready to see the sights and ride the rides. Try Cotton Candy 5-Hour Energy today, exclusively at 7-Eleven and Speedway stores. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion at checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
In the mood for a girls' night? Mohawk Casino Resort. But if you're feeling like a candlelit couples date, well, Mohawk Casino Resort. But when you just want the thrill of winning a chunk of change, you guessed it, the everyday escape, Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, where you can join these winners. And just won $11,005. Guy won $13,953. Don won $14,227. Richard won $12,128. And Valerie won a whopping $26,488.
Here's a brief message from industry. This ad is brought to you by GSK. We invite you to visit hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com to explore data and resources. That's hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com. Thanks for listening to the message from industry. Thumbtack presents Uncertainty Strikes. I was surrounded. The aisle and the options were closing in. There were paint rollers, satin and matte finish, angle brushes, and natural bristles. There were too many choices. What if I never got my living room painted? What if I couldn't figure out what type of paint to use? What if I just used Thumbtack? I can hire a top-rated pro that knows everything about interior paint, easily compare prices, and read reviews. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
This afternoon on the Derek Hunter Show, Democrats are going to hate you anyway. You might as well make fun of them in the process. 3 o'clock on WMAL.
Well, I'm beginning to think there's something wrong with the Democratic Party. So 2 teenage girls show up to school. Hey, I'm preggers. Oh, which teacher did it? They don't ask that right away. I don't know. We're going to have a fundraiser at lunch, maybe a bake sale to raise money so we can get you both abortions because your parents don't need grandkids. And who knows what could happen to you in the meantime. But never mind that. That's good. And Democrat, they got the street vendor out on 14th Street in Columbia Heights. 81-year-old Julian No Bueno, And when you go to return something to his table, he's a vendor, a street vendor. He may hack you up with a machete because Julian Bueno, in his culture, that's perfectly normal. Apparently, he might be an 81-year-old illegal alien who the Democrats invited in long ago. Maybe he crossed more recently with his machete. And I am amazed by what's going on in Australia as well with the machete ban. You know, only the most ardent supporters of the Second Amendment have said in the past, first they come for your guns, then what? They're going to come for your knives? And it's like right on cue. It's almost like Saturday Night Live in Australia. And then drop boxes that are like metal mailboxes here to drop your machete and your other scary knives, right? And at the same time, I'm not sure Democrats should be allowed to, wander around like normal people. Here's a great one from the New York Post today, America's most important newspaper. Stressed adults, that is to say adults that are experiencing stress, rely on pacifiers. You know, the little rubber nipple things that babies put in their mouth, that you put in a baby's mouth. Stressed adults, that's Democrats, it should say Democrats there, rely on pacifiers to soothe themselves. Quote, I feel a sense of safety from childhood. You are on the wrong drugs. That is really something. When the going gets tough, the tough pop a pacifier. That's right. That's the surprising stress-busting move thousands of young adults in China are making, swapping melatonin and meditation for an adult-sized binky. You call them that? You call them binkies? Sure. Once a niche quirk, the silicone soothers are supposedly now big business. Coming to New York soon.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Heading in through town, we have late delays for crash on New York Avenue inbound after the light at Bladensburg Road as you come up the West Virginia Montana Avenues. Road crews are setting up on the Beltway Inner Loop in McLean, outer loop near the Legion Bridge. Watch for those delays. Southbound 95 still jammed into Woodbridge where we have the crash activity on the right shoulder. 295 northbound jammed to the construction near Malcolm X. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly sunny and pleasant today with a high of 84, partly cloudy skies overnight, low 66.
Going to the gym can be discouraging, especially if you're putting in the work but barely seeing changes. But with Tonal, you can actually see your progress with every workout. Tonal provides the convenience of a full gym and the expertise of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleek system. Designed to reduce your mental load, Tonal is the ultimate strength training system, helping you focus less on workout planning and more on getting results. No more second-guessing your technique. Tonal gives you real-time coaching cues to dial in your form and help you lift safely and effectively. After a quick assessment, Tonal sets the optimal weight for every move and adjusts in 1 pound increments as you get stronger, so you're always challenged. Tonal lets you choose from a variety of expert-led workouts, from strength to arrow hit to yoga and mobility to keep you coming back for more. For a limited time, go to Tonal.com to get $500 off site-wide. That's Tonal.com for $500 off site-wide. Tonal.com.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
Most people would rather attend a corporate team building workshop than search for auto and home insurance.
Go team, feel that synergy.
That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com.
Who's ready for the trust fall?
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low cost. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC. Member
Yeah, kiddos, I don't know what you've had some physical changes.
Then I learned that VA covered tuition, supplies, and
something ain't right with
so
your
instead
mouth.
Of focusing on my bills,
Talk
I
different.
can focus on my books. Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Probably them drugs you were doing. If you were fucking doing meth, that's what meth does you.
Move. We have soccer practice.
Yeah, you're all kinds of fucked up, kiddos.
Life moves fast, so every second counts, especially when it comes to big decisions like buying a car. That's why searching through Navy Federal's car buying service powered by TrueCar is a perfect place to start.
Thanks, Mom.
Navy Federal can help you find and finance.
But I don't
vehicles
use
so you
meth.
can go wherever life takes you. Visit NavyFederal.org/TrueCar to learn more. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval.
I'm Kiana, and I leveled up my business with Shopify. Once I figured out that Shopify was a thing, I never turned back. I can create a site with my eyes closed. Shopify thinks ahead of us, and it thinks about the customer more than anything. Every day I'm thinking about some other new business, but Shopify is doing it to me because it's so easy to use. It's like I can't stop. I'm addicted.
Start your free trial at Shopify.com.
Ready for your bar or restaurant to score big? Serve up more sports with Spectrum Business Sports Fan TV for only $60 per month and make your bar or restaurant a fan favorite. Plus, get every live out-of-market Sunday afternoon game with purchase of NFL Sunday Ticket from EverPass. That's more plays, more games, and the football your fans want. So score big for your bar or restaurant at spectrum.com/scorebig. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
WMAL, making sense of the roads, because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Yeah, we got Mahmoud Khalil today, a hero of the Democrat Party, who did an interview on an alleged podcast with Ezra Klein, who is a New York Times person, and some interesting developments there for the hero of the Democrat Party who wants to wipe Israel off the map, kill all the Jews in it. Anti-American, anti-capitalist, anti-Western civilization, and a hero of the Democrat Party, because they've got a lot of issues, a great many issues. But this morning we woke up to the news out of St. Louis, Missouri. The headline from the Jewish Insider: firebombing targeting Jewish family and IDF veteran rocks St. Louis Jewish community. St. Louis's Jewish community is reeling after a targeted anti-Semitic attack in the pre-dawn hours of Tuesday morning on a family whose college-aged son served in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. The family, living in a quiet suburban neighborhood with a significant Jewish population, found 3 of their cars burned and a message spray painted on the street in front of their home, which read in part, "Death to the IDF." That's what it read. Now, we were talking about this in England a couple of weeks ago, maybe just a week ago. There was a band playing at a music festival in Glastonbury, England. The band, they call themselves Bob Vylan, like Bob Dylan, but they're Bob Vylan. And the crowd was cheering because the left, all over the world, they're fanning the flames of anti-Semitism. In the United States, it's the Democratic Party that is waging this war. But this was Bob Vylan in Glastonbury.
Have you heard this one, though? Death to the IDF! Death to the IDF! Death to the IDF! Death to the IDF! Death
along. Everybody chanting
From
along.
the river to the sea, Palestine must be, will be, inshallah, it will be free.
Yeah. He's not a Muslim, but they've all joined in the thing because, this is about critical race theory where all European Anglo-Caucasians are murderous villains, and anyone that is one shade off of that is a victim and must be protected even if they're slaughtering your babies and slamming their corpses on pikes around your house. And now in St. Louis, death to the IDF spray painted in front of the home where 3 cars were firebombed. A family lives there, 3 cars. Another part of the message, spray painted graffiti, specifically targeted the IDF veteran. And it's apparently too vile for the news media to reproduce because they're not reproducing it. Local news reports and members of the local Jewish community said that specifically targeting the IDF veteran American, Jewish American, who's back home now. But the more specific slanders have not been publicly disclosed. The attack has shaken the Jewish community and has faced frequent and heated protests since October 7th, 2023, and the attacks on Israel, the massacre, the largest massacre of Jews since the end of World War II. And Democrats and people that call themselves liberals in England and around the world are pounding the table and celebrating genocide. And that's what they're celebrating is genocide. This is the first time that that activity has turned openly violent in St. Louis. Local and federal officials are investigating the attack as a hate crime. Isn't that amazing? People are just really startled. Rabbi Jeffrey Abraham, a board member of the Missouri Alliance Network, a local political organization dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism and supporting Israel, said the local Jewish community has been on edge for months following the violent anti-Semitic attacks in Washington, where a Democrat, you may remember a Democrat, murdered 2 young people, a young man and a young woman, outside of a Jewish museum event in Washington, D.C. And when he was dragged away, he was chanting from the river to the sea, if I remember correctly. He was chanting from the river to the sea when he was being pulled away by the police.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
It's a civilized person yelling from Hamas. He also said from the river to the sea. Now, on college campuses, they like Columbia University and Harvard, lots of Ivy League schools, and George Washington University in Washington, D.C. They had the young students out there getting with the cause because critical race theory. All so-called Palestinians are victims. All Israelis are victimizers because they give them electricity and clean water and modern medicine and connectivity to the outside world, and gave them Gaza and moved out of Gaza and set up their elections for them so they could elect Hamas, a terrorist organization. But on college campuses in the United States, it's become commonplace. You'll see these chants. You'll see the graffiti.
Keep trying.
Projected on the sides of buildings.
I don't know yet. That's what's going to happen. I'm probably going to time you out for at least 5 minutes.
This is what the left is doing in the United States, what the Democrat Party is doing in the United States.
That's the most cruel timeout, actually, 5 minutes.
And building rail spurs. Isn't that amazing? So, the rabbi in St. Louis says, we've been on edge for months now after the anti-Semitic double homicide in Washington and in Boulder, Colorado, too. Remember the Democrats in Boulder, Colorado, with all that. But when it actually happens in our own backyard, it takes on a different meaning. I think people are legitimately worried and also just really upset, Rabbi Abraham said. Abraham said that he and other Jewish leaders are in close touch with local law enforcement, but attacks targeting individual families are harder to prevent, sure, than those targeting Jewish institutions, naturally. But look, the Democrat Party has done this to the country. They are entirely responsible for this. And then like 1% actual jihadis, but overwhelmingly, it is the Democrat Party that's driving all of this. Isn't it amazing? So 3 firebombing, and keep in mind that the Democrats firebomb a lot. Democrat two Molotov cocktails at the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania. Governor Josh Shapiro, who is Jewish and a Democrat, at his home, firebombed after the Seder dinner, and just amazing. This is what the Democrats have done with his family inside, and they fortunately weren't burned to death, but that was the goal, of course. And the Democrats, they got the two young Jewish young man and woman murdered in Washington, D.C. The attacks, there have been attacks on college campuses, and
it is
and
a beautiful day.
The Democrat Party.
It's a nice summer day where I'm at.
The Anti-Defamation League.
I've been outside all morning.
Anti-Defamation League is supposed to stand up for Jewish people in the United States. It's run by Jonathan Greenblatt, who
and a
was
chipmunk.
An Obama White House official. And they're
very friendly,
silent
chipmunks,
after the Obama guy took over. But they had a spokesman, Jordan Kadash. I
like it when they stomp their hind feet. They'll fucking stomp. It's fucking hilarious.
Again, 3 vehicles, and then the personalized attack on the Jewish American who served in the IDF, and the death to the IDF, which is a Hamas chant. And the Democrats have brought the jihad to the United States. Jordan Kadash of the Anti-Defamation League.
When you hear somebody say globalize the Intifada, this is what it looks like. It looks like burned out cars on suburban streets in America. This is not confined when somebody says that they want to take this fight to Jews around the world.
Exactly, because in America, you're going to find a lot of the Jews around the world because they came here to be safe from this kind of thing generations ago. But the Democrat Party, in the name of liberalism, has turned that all around. The Columbia University Hamas protest, they globalize the Intifada, right? Who's pushing globalize the Intifada? Any heroes of the Democrat Party? Like Mahmoud Khalil? Columbia University, where Mahmoud Khalil went for his master's degree. There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. Isn't that amazing? And when you say globalize the Intifada, this is what it looks like. Attacking the homes of Jews and under cover of night. Every Nacht is crystal Nacht in Democrat Party land at UC Berkeley. These are wealthy white students.
Indoctrinated.
At Columbia University, at UC Berkeley in California.
California's a shithole
of America.
So is it my state, but that's down by New York City.
The Democrat Party is engaged in a form of civil war against our civilization, and it is a violent movement. You can call it a movement, I think. It is a violent movement, and it has led to murders and fire bombings, arson attacks, and deaths, and it's funny. And then the FBI chief, the Democrat FBI chief, oh yeah, the greatest threat to America is white extremism. I'm sorry, it's what? White nationalism, white extremism. Can you list for me the crimes committed by them? And amazing. New York City, where they love the Intifada as well. This is 100% on the Democrat Party, from Berkeley to Columbia University to the streets of New York, even in Toronto, Canada.
That's another 5 minutes, Patrick. I just timed you out for 5 minutes.
Intifada revolution. It is genocide that they're advocating. From the river to the sea. Again, you ask them what river, what sea, and they're so dumb that they don't know. It's pretty amazing stuff. But Mahmoud Khalil is a hero of the Democratic Party.
You guys have nothing.
He claims to be a Palestinian. He was born in Syria, I believe it. And he came to America, and he lied on his student visa application. When asked, you belong to any organization?
From what I see, fuck you does support Trump.
Lunatics,
it'd be smart for him to
destroying
do
Israel
it,
and killing all the Jews.
especially
No,
if
not
he
me.
works.
That was a lie. Any other extremist organizations might
Especially
be
if you're a
belongs to an
business owner.
organization that is dedicated to the total destruction of Western civilization.
We don't have to like
And,
each other.
He said, no, not me. And isn't this amazing stuff? Now,
I get him pretty
Khalil,
good as far as the
another hero of
trolling
the Democrat
goes.
Party, who's a genocidal Jew.
Him and Wiggin should have never bragged.
They
They bragged about what they did with my name
and Hitler.
in my picture.
They even had that idiot Democrat congresswoman.
They couldn't do it on their
from
own.
Texas.
They needed Billy Hayden's help.
Jasmine Crockett calling
Yep,
Trump.
look at that.
Trump
There's
is
a fly.
Hitler, right? Yeah, and then they got back to killing the Jews, gassing the Jews. Mahmoud Khalil. Here is the headline from today, and this is a JTA. Mahmoud Khalil pushes back on claims of anti-Semitism at Columbia in Ezra Klein interview. Oh, no, we just want to wipe out the state of Israel. That's not anti-Semitism. I would say there is a manufactured hysteria about anti-Semitism at Columbia because of the protests, he said. Now, here's Mahmoud Khalil sitting down with Ezra Klein of the New York Times, who never really pushed back on anything.
I want to get into the chants, from the river to the sea, from globalize the intifada, about all of that. I heard someone on your podcast saying I don't like the chant globalize the intifada. Yeah, don't like it. It's not being chanted for you to like it. It's actually to make you uncomfortable. So you have to think about your complicity.
Kill the Jews, exterminate all the Jews. And Mahmoud Khalil, it's and this is they don't know what river, they don't know what sea. This is on the streets of Manhattan, New York City, and Mahmoud Khalil can be seen in the crowd inciting genocide like the German Nazis did of the Socialist Workers' Party. Sitting down with New York Times, Ezra Klein.
October 7th happens. What do you think that day? To me, it felt frightening that we had to reach this moment in the Palestinian struggle.
It felt frightening that we had to reach this moment in the Palestinian struggle, he said. Isn't that amazing? I've got more of the heroes of the Democrat Party. Ezra Klein and Mahmoud Khalil. It was frightening that we had to reach this point. Not a condemnation of the massacre, biggest massacre of Jews since the end of the Holocaust in World War II. And know that Mahmoud Khalil is being defended by Democrats in the Senate, in the House, in state houses around the country, in academic circles, on college campuses. He is the hero of the story. All right? The terrorist group Hamas, they're the victims, and the dirty, rotten, stinking Jews must be killed. This is where the Democrat Party is. They're defending the latter and not the former.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Beltway's jam coming off the 270 spur and out across the Legion Bridge. Work zone being set up there. Interloop jam for the work crews in McLean. Outside of the Beltway, River Road jammed to Persimmon Tree Road each direction. Incidents reported in that area. Montgomery County still closed. Westbound Randolph Road just west of New Hampshire Avenue with a serious crash. Inbound New York Avenue at West Virginia, Montana Avenues. That's where crash cleanup. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Mostly sunny and pleasant today with a high of 84. Partly cloudy skies overnight, low 66.
Lowe's knows that more projects mean more tools. For a limited time, new and existing MyLowe's Rewards credit card members can get 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more, in-store and online. Don't wait to get the things you need. Get special financing today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Now through August 27th, choose 12-month special financing and purchases of $299 or more. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payments required. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
Choosing a new pharmacy isn't easy, but if you need to do so, the employee owners of Kinney Drugs hope you'll choose us. We've been taking care of our local community since 1903 when Bert Kinney opened our first store in Gouverneur, New York. In fact, we're still headquartered there today. Because we're employee owned, we don't answer to Wall Street. We answer to Main Street, the people we serve. And we've made it easy as 1, 2, 3 to transfer your prescriptions. Get started at KinneyDrugs.com or stop by today.
Son, do you know what time it is? Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home. I'm sorry.
So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union.
Wait, what? Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
My name is Georgios Tsetis. I'm the co-founder of Nutrafol. My hair started thinning in my early 20s. I tried everything and nothing was really working. So we created Nutrafol. Our hair growth supplements undergo clinical trials and have helped millions of men and women get visibly thicker and stronger hair in just 3 to 6 months.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com.
Choosing a new pharmacy isn't easy, but if you need to do so, the employee owners of Kinney Drugs hope you'll choose us. We've been taking care of our local community since 1903 when Bert Kinney opened our first store in Gouverneur, New York. In fact, we're still headquartered there today. Because we're employee owned, we don't answer to Wall Street. We answer to Main Street, the people we serve. And we've made it easy as 1, 2, 3 to transfer your prescriptions. Get started at KinneyDrugs.com or stop by today.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at LifeMD.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? See the lowest prices available with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more at TryLifeMD.com. 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Listen to Tara's story after losing 42 pounds.
You just take your shot. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. What I wasn't expecting it to do was to shut off the food noise. I've gone from 237 to 195. This was life-altering, and if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
Get your free insurance benefits check in minutes right now at TryLifeMD.com. Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
WMAL, making sense of social media because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
From the river to the sea?
Yes.
Okay, which river, which sea?
The Sea of...
So you don't know. No. The answer was the Mediterranean and the Jordan.
But that's too much learning.
I do that here.
Keep in mind,
that's why
people
Wiggin
like
and all of
Senator
them are
Dick
mad
Durbin,
at me.
Democrat, Senator Illinois. in the
especially that
tweeting
night
out
when
his
ODB
free
was asked, why is the
Khalil.
White House called the White
Mahmoud
House?
Khalil
Painted
is a
white? And they
genocidal
laughed at
racist,
him.
a
Well, it
genocidal
is painted
anti-Semite
white.
who's, also
called whitewash.
extraordinarily anti-American. And the Democrat
Fucking
Party
idiots.
applauds him, and they champion him.
Don't know nothing.
And who are the bad guys again? Oh, Benjamin
From the
Netanyahu.
river to the
He's the villain of
sea,
the story.
Palestine will
Too
be
strong
free.
for Western civilization. Let's grab a phone call, Michael. Let's go to Terry, calling from Charleston, South Carolina. Terry,
Hey, my
you're on the
old
Chris
stomping
Pratt Show.
ground.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Terry.
I have a solution to this rioting and marching around protesting. Since they love to march and keep informed, attack, and speak the same language, why don't the president draft all of them and say, serve our country and do the same thing for our country?
That's an interesting idea. I can tell you that the majority of people in the United States military don't want to draft those people. The leadership, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and the members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff don't want to draft.
I don't really
people.
want to be
They
in
don't
the
want
same
those people in the
foxhole
military.
with Jeff
And
Holler
We've got another big problem, Terry.
or
and that is that
Lord
most people that
Vader.
would be of draft age aren't physically fit.
Angie
enough
used to run around.
join the
Oh,
military.
hail Lord Vader.
Ain't that a shame?
I
Ain't
was
that a
so
shame?
nice to him.
And you know why?
Fuck you,
Terry,
Angie.
That majority of people
Fucking
that age are
race
not
baiting
physically fit
bitch.
enough to join the military.
That's just what Angie Fox is. She's a race baiting bitch.
And because of Democrats,
Fuck
because
you, Wiggin.
they,
them too.
President Trump is talking about bringing back this fitness thing for schools. He is bringing back the fitness thing for schools for students, and the Democrats are angry about that. They're angry about everything, but they're angry about what do you mean kids have to be physically fit? And the Democrats are opposed to that. Drafting the loser lunatics, the glassy-eyed zombies that the Democrat Party has created. Now, again, Michael and I were listening to some of this audio this morning of them chanting from the river to the sea and being told what to chant and chanting it back. And it always reminds us of Monty Python. The Democrats have taken what used to be comedy, Monty Python movies and Monty Python television shows and Mel Brooks movies, and they've made it our modern reality. What used to be satire, the Democrats have turned into the real world. They are very unwell, and as a result, our culture is having a lot of problems. Thanks, Terry.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. Federal officers are stepping up their visibility across D.C. in crime enforcement efforts in the wake of President Trump's threat to take over policing efforts in D.C. Beyond arrests, the feds are looking to tighten prosecutions against teen suspects as well.
The D.C. Council, and the president is right, they've got to stop their coddling. Number one, we've got to lower the age of responsibility to 14. I'm tired of having these kids commit crimes in their crews, not gangs in D.C.
U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro tells Fox News she credits Mayor Muriel Bowser, though, for working with her office. The Fairfax County School System's investigating allegations that school staff at Centerville High School arranged and paid for abortions for 2 students back in 2021, apparently without their parents' knowledge. The claim comes from a conservative writer in Ohio who published a story this week. In a statement to WMAL, FCPS acknowledged learning about the allegations this week and said it's engaged an external investigator to get the facts. In a statement, the school system says, quote, "We have serious questions about these allegations that must be answered. At no time would this situation as described in the allegations from back in 2021 be acceptable in Fairfax County Public Schools." FCPS has also acknowledged it's hiring a bodyguard for Superintendent Michelle Reed after threats were made against her. In an interview with the Washington Post, Reed says, quote, "Being a leader, whether it's an elected leader or an appointed leader of really any type of organization, is becoming increasingly challenging." Fairfax County Police has acknowledged its threat assessment management unit has reviewed incidents related to Reed, though it will not comment on specific investigations. The school division security chief says he's been pushing for more security for Reed for several months. The Prince William School Board will take up transgender student bathroom policies at a special meeting tonight.
We're just going into the meeting to hear from our lawyers on where we are on the concerns raised by the Office of Civil Rights in the Department of Education.
School Board Chairman Dr. Robert Lateef, the DOE, says that Prince William, Fairfax, Loudoun, and Arlington counties, as well as the city of Alexandria, all violate Title IX.
I think there's folks that share different ideas on what the law is and how the law should be implemented.
While the meeting is open, there's no public comment, and the board will head into closed session almost immediately. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
2 Californians are in custody in a gold bar scam against a D.C. woman.
Detectives say the woman's computer had crashed and she was told her identity had been stolen. She was given a customer service number that turned out to be fake, and when she called, scammers told her to make wire transfers to buy gold bars and coins. Police say she was scammed out of more than $640,000.
We hope this arrest sends a strong message to those looking to defraud innocent people of their property. If you do, we will find you and we will arrest you.
MPD detectives are now working with the FBI, looking into whether these 2 suspects are connected to any other fraud cases.
7 News' Adam Longo. The Dow is up 122 points at this hour. NASDAQ's up 206. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw at Mohawk Casino. Are you ready to make a match and win big? From July 1st through August 23rd, earn your weekly quick pick number every Monday or Tuesday when you earn just 100 points. Then come back for Saturday night drawings July 12th, 26th, and August 9th and 23rd for your shot at up to $100,000 cash. Match all 6 numbers to win the grand prize or win slot play starting with just 1 match. It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw, only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
Are your patients asking you questions, perhaps about managing their treatment, or maybe about making a change? Now is the time to talk to your patients. Now is the time to talk about Dovato. Dovato, a combination of dolutegravir and lamivudine, is a treatment option with 2 medicines in 1 pill. Visit DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including box warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by ViiV Healthcare.
WMAL traffic and weather. Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Around the belly now, the outer loop is still pretty slow from the 270 spur across the Legion Bridge down to the George Washington Parkway. Inner loop is under speed still also from Braddock Road up to Gallows Road and then from 123 up to the George Washington Parkway. Inner loop in Maryland is very heavy from 95 in College Park down to 450 Annapolis Road. I-95 northbound after Lorton before the Fairfax County Parkway is broken down vehicle in the right lane. Southbound on I-95, you're going to be slow from Lorton down to 123 along the way. The accident at 1 cleared away. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
More sun than clouds throughout your Thursday afternoon. We'll be in the lower to mid 80s. Tonight, temperatures fall to the mid 60s with partly cloudy skies. And for your finally Friday, sunshine temperatures back in the mid 80s. I'm 7 News meteorologist Mark Pena in the First Alert Weather Center.
74 right now at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
There's a phrase, you have to fight fire with fire. That is a true statement of how we're feeling right now.
We are ready to fight fire with fire.
Look, we got to fight fire with fire.
We're going to fight fire with fire.
Ah, yes, the Democrats, they love setting things on fire, don't they? They're the fire-bombingest bunch that we've had in the United States of America since the Democrats were firebombing things during the Civil War. Bomb, 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 bomb. Ah, yes. Fighting fire with fire. And last night, we learned out of St. Louis, Missouri, that the home of a Jewish family had been attacked 3 automobiles firebombed. And the death to the IDF, death to the IDF, spray painted on the street in front of their home because, they're Jews. Death to the IDF, giant white spray painted letters in front of their home, targeting the Jewish family. St. Louis, Jews in St. Louis not amused by this. If you vote for Democrats, Jews in St. Louis or any place else in civilization, maybe it's time to rethink that. Just saying. And a very good Thursday to you, and welcome back once again. We remain at 888-630-9625. Absolutely toll-free, too. Now, a hate crime inquiry. They always love to call it a hate crime, don't they? Does anybody name a love crime? Raise your hand if you can name a love crime. But the Democrats, we had one of our wonderful listeners call in a little while ago and spoke to Jasmine and say it's kind of ironic that the Democrats are firebombing, in this case, the cars, 3 cars, Jewish families' home, and spray painting death to the IDF like we're living in Gaza, because the Democrats are bringing the third world to the United States. And in fact, the aerial pictures of the spray painted graffiti in the street that say death to the IDF, they had to blur out other graffiti there because it would be too offensive, because the Democrats, and the graffiti is next to one of the 3 burned out cars that the Democratic Party firebombed, because while they call everybody else Nazis, if you're looking for a Nazi-like behavior, I would suggest that you look to the behavior of the Democratic Party. And while they push for the release of Mahmoud Khalil, and Mahmoud Khalil, the allegedly Palestinian individual who naturally came to New York to go to Columbia University, an Ivy League institution, and, Barack Obama and all that stuff. And they love Mahmoud Khalil. Mahmoud Khalil is calling for the extermination of the state of Israel, death to all the Jews, death to Western civilization. And the Democrats applaud that because that's fashionable for the Democrats. That's, critical race theory that all white people are bad and they've decided Jews are Semites, but they're white enough. They're white enough to be the bad guys here. And the Palestinians, who are also Semites, just like the Jews, they're the victims. Poor them with the terrorist groups and the kidnappings and the rapes and the mass murders and the tunnel system to hold hostages. And they're still holding, allegedly, maybe 20 hostages are alive, and they're still holding onto the dead bodies of hostages. And Mahmoud Khalil, he's good with all that. And the Democrats on Capitol Hill, they've signed on to the free Muhammad Khalil. And Senator Dick Durbin, the Illinois Democrat, reposting the free Mahmoud Khalil. Well, Mahmoud Khalil is, October 7th was, it's too bad it came to that. That's what he said, right? Too bad it came to that, that we had to do that. And it's interesting, the language that he uses. He does say we when he's referring to Hamas, the terror group. And he lied on his application for a student visa repeatedly. And the Democrats are okay with that. They're good with that. Now, Ezra Klein talking to the New York Times, Mahmoud Khalil talking to Ezra Klein from the New York Times, and because everybody has a podcast now. And he said, well, the chanting from the river to the sea, that's just fine. You guys should get over it, is his take on, death to the Jews, and let's have a real genocide and finish the job this time, which is where he is. And Ezra Klein of the New York Times, presumably Jewish, talking to Mahmoud Khalil about his, and he doesn't ask the hard questions, but he teed up some softballs, and that was pretty much good enough because Mahmoud Khalil, occasionally he screws up and tells the truth.
What moment is this? You can see that the situation is not sustainable. You have an Israeli government that's absolutely ignoring Palestinians. They are trying to make that deal with Saudi and just happy about their Abraham Accord without, looking at Palestinians as if Palestinians are not part of the equation. It's clear, it's becoming more and more violent. So that's what I mean by, unfortunately, we couldn't avoid such a moment.
October 7th, the massacre of Jews, the largest massacre since the end of World War II and the Holocaust. They're still holding hostages in tunnels, the rapes, the murders, the torture. And it's too bad it couldn't be avoided. It's the Israelis. And I was having a conversation this morning. He said, you don't got to deal with the Saudis. If the Saudis got to deal with the Israelis, the royal family would immediately be in grave danger. And the government, it's not sustainable, he says, because they're ignoring the Palestinians. I'm sorry, this has already been resolved. You guys got Gaza, which again is twice as large as the District of Columbia, where I live, and has 25 miles of beautiful west-facing beachfront property on the Mediterranean Sea that any civilized people would cut off their pinky for. Hey, this is great stuff. And the Israelis gave them elections, and then they elected Hamas. The Israelis give them electricity, which they don't generate for themselves. The Israelis give them clean, potable water. It's potable, like on Jeopardy, potable potables, and they give them everything that they need to live, including democracy. And they elected a death cult called Hamas, and then they blame the Israelis for not doing enough. They're like leftists, in that whatever you give them, they're just going to want more. And then you give them that, and they're going to want more. These are not people with whom you can live in peace and harmony. It's all their fault. And that is, again, Mahmoud Khalil, hero of the Democrat Party and the Democrat senators in the United States Senate. And they're not on the side of civilization. Isn't it amazing? Ezra Klein talking to Mahmoud Khalil.
I understood that as something Hamas must have wanted, right? Pull Israel into this attack, pull it into some kind of war. Was that your perception? To me, it's a desperate attempt to the word that Palestinians are here, that Palestinians are part of the equation. That was my interpretation of why Hamas did the October 7 attacks on Israel.
Yeah. The deadliest, most blood-drenched attack on Jews since the 1940s. And Palestinians are here. Well, see, here's the second part of that. The first part is Palestinians are here. The second part is they're blood-drenched, bloodthirsty savages that will torture your children to death and throw your bodies into tunnel system that you paid to have built. And when we're done with that, we'll start killing some more. That's the second part of Palestinians are here. Palestinians are here, and you can't live side by side with them because Israel just tried that, giving you Gaza, beachfront property, beautiful sunset views. You could put up condos and businesses, and Israel allows Arabs and Muslims to live where they want in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem and beyond. And they say, no, we want to live separately in settlements, and so we can plot against you and kill you later. How many centuries have to go by before you guys join the civilized world? Can I ask that question? Because, I mean, if I were Ezra Klein at the fake New York Times, I think I might say, well, how many centuries is it going to take? And the reality is, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. We're going to wipe Israel off the face of the map. We're going to kill all the Jews. And we're going to make sure that the world rises up against them, a global intifada. Isn't that great? And we are here. He identifies with the wrong side in this. Ezra Klein and Mahmoud Khalil.
October 7th was obviously an operation that did kill a lot of civilians. Do you see that as unavoidable, that Hamas had no other choice? Do you see it as a mistake? There's nothing can justify the killing of civilians. Also, there's another point to this.
Also, blah, blah, blah.
Palestinians don't have to be perfect victims.
They don't have to be perfect victims. Palestinians don't have to be perfect victims. First of all, they're the victims. They kill you. And this is where they have a lot in common with the left. There's some people in some cultures have something wrong with their brains. And this is a pretty good example of all that. Palestinians don't have to be perfect victims. They don't have to be perfect victims. And that's his response to And then he gives the kind of the platitude, killing civilians is wrong. Democrats throw out platitudes like that as well. But Palestinians don't have to be perfect victims, is what he said. They're the victims, and what do you expect from victims? You're going to get more of it. This is the guy that the Democrat, including members of the Democrat Senate, Democrats are fighting for this guy. This is free speech. Now, in the 1930s,
I'm not Jewish.
There were people in the United States who said what the Nazis were doing in Germany before they started invading everybody. We're doing good things. There was a rally in Madison Square Garden where people actually dressed in Nazi uniforms and had Nazi armbands and things like that. And now we look back after World War II, during World War II, people look back on that and say it was a disgraceful episode in American history. That's what we're witnessing right now. Do you know what we're witnessing? Are you on the right side of what we're witnessing? Because there is a genocidal death cult living among us. Mahmoud Khalil is a scout for that genocidal death cult. And the Democrat Party, they're saddling up with Mahmoud Khalil and with the genocidal death cult. Isn't that amazing? They're on the side of the drug cartels in Mexico and points south. They're on the side of every illegal alien, criminal, rapist, murderer, drunk driving, mother, baby killer in the country. The Democrat Party is on the side of the school in Fairfax, Virginia. An amazing story. Fairfax, Virginia County Schools, not far out of Washington, D.C., where an investigation is now ongoing because it appears that the teachers and other staff at the Fairfax County Public Schools, the high school there, discovered that 2 young girls were pregnant, and they sneaked the girls away and paid for their abortions and never contacted the parents. That's the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party wants to convince your children, if they're boys, that they're not boys, they're really girls. If they're girls, that they're not girls, they're really boys. And they will sneak them away and have the removal of their genitalia, their child genital mutilation, paid for by someone else while keeping it a secret from their parents. The Democrat Party is insane. You know, a fanatic is often described as someone who is unwilling to change their mind and unable to change the subject. But the Democrat Party, the fanaticism of the Democrat Party is everywhere. And it's violent. It's definitely violent. You know, the Democrat that went and rented, no less, an Elon Musk car, a Tesla mobile, filled it with explosives and nail bombs, and drove to the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, where he ignited the explosives, killing himself with a goal of killing, hundreds at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. And he set himself on fire and blew himself up. And amazingly, the Tesla automobile was so sturdy that the blast only went up and not out to the sides, so it didn't kill all the people he wanted to kill. Got Democrats self-immolating at the Israeli embassy in Washington, the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. Democrats self-immolating at the Donald Trump trial outside the courthouse in New York City. The Democrat Party is not well in 2025. The state of their union is not sound. I want to talk to you about living a better digital life, a better life in the digital sphere with one of our newest partners. And we love our new partners. We love our partners everywhere. WebRoot. I chose WebRoot because of the Total Protection product. WebRoot's all-in-one package offers plans and options for individuals and allowing for coverage of up to 5 devices, or for a family package up to 10 devices, and they got you covered no matter what. WebRoot's coverage includes antivirus and identity protection and identity theft protection and VPN backup and a whole lot more. And you don't need to be an adult even, because, WebRoot wants to make sure that your entire family is protected, whether you've got a toddler on the internet or with a phone or with an iPad, a student in college or high school, senior citizen living in the home. WebRoot allows my best girl and I to live a better digital life, and that's why I want to recommend WebRoot to you. You should do the same thing. Right now, you get 50% off WebRoots Total Protection or WebRoots Essentials programs when you go to webroots.com/plant. Again, you get 50% off because you and I hang out together off of WebRoots Total Protection Plan or WebRoots Essentials Plan when you go to webroots.com/plant. Yes, sir. Yeah, the Democrat Party and firebombing Jewish governors' houses. This is an era this is a stain on the history of our country. And it is being driven once again 100% by the Democrats.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox 1 is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goal.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I had Pete a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox 1.
Are your patients asking you questions, perhaps about managing their treatment, or maybe about making a change? Now is the time to talk to your patients. Now is the time to talk about Dovato. Dovato, a combination of dolutegravir and lamivudine, is a treatment option with 2 medicines in 1 pill. Visit DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including boxed warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by ViiV Healthcare.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts will provide a low-health mattress that can help. Free adjustable base select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Since your website for details.
Oh no, it's not here. That's why you don't have a bench. This is my friend's street. That's right. It's in my friend's channel, man. So, it's not mine. No, it's you're not going to have it on this channel. It's my friend's channel.
Here's a brief message. This ad is brought to you by hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com to explore data and resources. That's hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com. Thanks for listening.
Going to the gym can be discouraging, especially if you're putting in the work to barely seeing changes. But with Tonal, you can actually see your progress. Tonal provides the convenience of a full gym and the expertise of a personal trainer anytime at home with one sleep system designed to reduce your mental load. Tonal is the ultimate strength training system, helping you focus less on workout planning and more on getting results. No more second guessing your technique. Tonal gives you real-time coaching to follow your form and help you look quickly and effective. After a quick assessment, Tonal sets the optimal weight for every move and adjusts in one-time increments as you get stronger, so you're always challenged. Tonal lets you choose.
I'm just grabbed someone off the street and say, help that man. I can't leave him there on the floor dying. I'm grabbed someone and say, there's a man dying on the floor, can you help him? I'm just walking on. Nothing to do with me. Yeah, man. You get all that hair in your mouth, and she got his fucking, that thing he's got, whatever the fuck that is. Look at it. His ice cream cones, that shit. What is that shit he's got? Oh, it's candy. Doesn't it? That was hilarious when he said, fucking, let's count how many times he stroked his beard. Fucking hell, he was really nervous that day. But besides, like, he was fucking on it, mate, like he's having a fucking morning wood and shit. That was finished, like, this is him. He's in the chat as well, that's him. It's just fucked. They roughed him up on the street. Someone streamed the other day, everyone roughed him up, man. Everyone just fucked him up, man. It was bad. What good? I should say that. It's hilarious, man. He went to Psyche's panel to complain and shit. That's about the way you said it. Oh, he went to Psyche's panel to tell him how to run his street. still happy and smiling about it. Like, no need for her to scream and shout. You know, like me, I'm a screamer and shout. It's all mellow. It's kicked ass, man. Yeah, they all kicked ass, man. Yeah. Kicked ass. And then today, mate, I was using her picture, because that's all we can do. So he's made pictures, fucking sends picture. It's like, mate, what are you doing, man? and things, it's not like Zen's that is shaming her up, showing bad, making her look stupid. She's a pretty lady, isn't it? So him showing her picture, it doesn't affect anybody. It doesn't affect her, does it? He's an idiot, baby. He doesn't think about anything. He does stuff, and then the consequences happen afterwards.
And the university said, no. They were afraid there would be violence with celebrating murder and kidnapping and rape. And the Democrats promoted all this, but the university said, no, can't do that. And a judge overruled the school, said, no, you have to allow the pro-Hamas people to celebrate the murder of Jews. And now University of Maryland has lost a lawsuit, and they've got to pay $100,000 to the pro-Hamas people, and a bunch of the money goes to CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, which is waging soft jihad in the United States. Isn't that amazing? But that's not even the biggest story right now, because there's another great one. President Trump is calling for a new census to be conducted, and that the new census would exclude illegal aliens. And the Democrats said, hell no. We got to include the illegal. We moved millions of illegal aliens into the country so we could amp up the number of seats we get in the House of Representatives. The Democrats did this with slaves, too, with 3/5 of a person to increase their representation in the House of Representatives. The Democrat Party is a stain on the history of humankind. They're consistent. Got more on that coming up. This is the Chris Plant Show. Making sense of the news. News. Global News at 10:30. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. Vladimir Putin says he hopes to meet next week with President Trump, possibly in the United Arab Emirates. The news coming on the eve of a White House deadline for Moscow to show progress towards ending the 3-year-old war in Ukraine. Moscow and Kyiv remain far apart on their conditions for peace. President Trump's instructed the Commerce Department to start working on the new census, one that would seek to exclude immigrants in the U.S. illegally. The president says data collections will be based on, quote, modern-day facts and figures, and importantly, information gained from last year's presidential election. Fairfax County schools are hiring a bodyguard for Superintendent Michelle Reed after threats were made against her. In an interview with the Washington Post, Reed says being any kind of leader of, quote, really any kind of organization is becoming increasingly challenging. The school division security chief says he's been pushing for months for more security for Reed. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association brings around a hybrid where horsepower meets hard work, reigniting the spirit of racing and the power of skilled trades, mentorship, education, legacy, fuels the future on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets now at ihra.com.
Steve Hirshorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
270 southbound, very slow from just before Father Holy Boulevard down to a broken down vehicle reported in the roadway near 118 Germantown. After that, 270 is good down to the lane dividing into the inner or outer loop of the Beltway. On the outer loop in that stretch right now, in the ways from after Georgetown Road across the American Mansion Bridge down to the George Washington Parkway, where the right lane is closed with roadwork. On the inner loop, the right lane is closed after the toll road for the midday construction and delays up from Route 123. Northbound 95 after Lorton, a broken down vehicle blocks the right lane. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant with a high 84 at 75 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw at Mohawk Casino. Are you ready to make a match and win big? From July 1st to August 23rd, earn your weekly quick pick number every Monday or Tuesday when you earn just 100 points. Then come back for Saturday night drawings July 12th, 26th, and August 9th and 23rd for your shot at $100,000 cash. Match all 6 numbers to win the grand prize or win flat total starting with just one match. It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw, only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
Time for dinner, kids. The reason I gathered you here today is for a family strategy. Johnny, after dinner, you get 30 more minutes of coming practice, and I expect only 30 minutes. Meanwhile, to me, you get to use I Excel for your long division. And Dad, I don't see any broccoli on that plate. Mom, dinner looks excellent. Let's do this. We've got to study. Tests are coming up, people. The winning product family stress. Start learning today at iexcel.com.
Hey, 20 would you bid 30, 30 would you bid 40. That's the sound you're going to hear at the next Drastic auction. Hi, I'm Bernie Drastic of Drastic's Real Estate Auction Company of Baldwinsville, New York, and I have 40 years of proven experience in selling antiques, businesses, estates, households, residential and commercial and waterfront real estate. Call me at 678-2000 for a free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can receive top cash price for your real estate and personal property in one day the Drastic auction way. And it's sold.
Lowe's knows that more projects mean more tools. For a limited time, new and existing My Lowe's Rewards credit card members can get 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more, in-store and online. Don't wait to get the things you need. Get special financing today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Now through August 27th, choose 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more. Offer subject to credit approval and not combined. Minimum monthly payments required. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
Hi, I'm Joe Salciha, host of the Stacking Benjamin Show. Every week, we talk about personal finance, saving, investing. And the thing that I've seen with very successful people, they just try more.
Yes, sir.
I like this stuff.
The Democrat Party.
Biggest financial flex. All like, yeah, my dad's rich. Just make sure your parents do good. That's all you got to do. You never knew personal finance could be this fun. All right, well, then how do you hold the budget together, OG? Make more money. Do better. And see. Stacking Benjamins. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Thumbtack presents Uncertainty Strikes. I was surrounded. The aisle and the options were closing in. There were paint rollers, satin and matte finish, angle brushes, and natural bristles. There were too many choices. What if I never got my living room painted? What if I couldn't figure out what type of paint to use? What if I just used Thumbtack? I can hire a top-rated pro that knows everything about interior paint, easily compare prices, and read reviews. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
WMAL, making sense of mainstream media because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
I love this. President Trump is talking about having a new census taken in the United States, and this time don't count the illegal aliens that the Democrat Party moved in by the tens of millions, which will create new new seats in the House of Representatives. And the Democrats moved them around the country and put them, hey, now you've got 2 million more people here. We got 2 more House seats. And then they do what they always do with the gerrymandering, and they give themselves new House seats. These people are really something. The Fox News people have the story. Trump orders work on new census. Says people in U.S. illegally will not be counted. The Democrats are like, screw that. We're counting all the illegals. We get more House seats. We moved to Democrat states. We moved to Republican states and watered down the Republicans, just as they've done in their gerrymandering for years and years in state after state across this great land of ours. President Donald Trump declared in a Thursday morning Truth Social post that he has directed the Commerce Department to start working on a new census, noting that illegal aliens in the U.S. will not be included in the population count. President Trump wrote, I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on modern-day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election in 2024. people who are in the country illegally will not be counted in the census. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He loves to end his post with thank you for your attention to this matter, which is fun. The U.S. conducts a census every decade. The last decennial census was conducted in 2020, and another is scheduled for 2030. Of course, that's true. The decennial census is key to determining the balance of political power each state holds, and that's what the Democrats were taking full advantage of when they opened our southern border and waved in tens of millions of illegal alien gang members and Chinese spies and the other people that Democrats sleep with. Because the population counts are used in apportionment. The Democrats insisted that slaves be counted as 3/5 of a person because they're the party of slavery, because they wanted to increase the number of people they had in the House of Representatives, particularly over non-slave states. The determination of how many seats each state gets in the House of Representatives is one of the consequences of the count. Consequently, the count also ultimately determines how many electoral votes each state gets for presidential elections, since a state's electoral count equals the number of House and Senate seats in that state. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution reads in part, representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. Hey, you don't pay taxes, no? So the U.S. Census Bureau, which falls under the Department of Commerce, indicates that unauthorized immigrants, as they're called in their documentation, are counted in the resident population figures, noting on a frequently asked questions webpage that all people, citizens and non-citizens, with a usual residence in the United States are included in the resident population for purposes of the census. And the Democrats know that, and so when they wave millions and millions of people into the country and they direct them to certain states, they do that with an eye toward benefiting the Democratic Party and being detrimental to the Republican Party. So President Trump has now opened another can of worms, and this is a good one. It's a great one. That, you guys, there are 10,000 ways to lie in the naked city. Democrats know all of them. And the opening our borders and waving in tens of millions is part of a broader plan they have. Barack Obama warned us years ago that we better teach the kids to speak Spanish because English won't be of much use to us after a period of time. This is a pretty amazing story, I've got to say. The instructed the Commerce Department to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on modern-day facts. And we will not be counting illegal aliens in the census. Democrats are going to be furious about this because they want more welfare money. They want to steal more property and power because the Democrat Party is a stain on the history of humanity. They're amazing. And they're growing the jihad in the United States of America, among other things. Aren't they amazing? Stain on history. That's what I'm here to tell you. Okay. I haven't taken a phone call in a long time, have I? Let's go to the telephones. Let's talk to Bob, calling from Port Republic, Maryland. Bobby, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, Bob. What do you know?
Well, I know that conservatives aren't really into the chanting thing too much, but I kind of had a little inspiration sitting here at the table with my wife this morning, and got a good retort for their chant next time. Is all of you are full of crap. Show me Palestine on the map.
All of you are full of crap. Show me Palestine on a map. That's pretty good. I like that.
I think it's a pretty good idea.
You said you were just working with your wife on this?
Yeah.
That's very nice. Over breakfast today?
Yeah, it was late breakfast.
A late breakfast. That's good. That's good. And your wife is a woman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good. And you're a man?
Yes, sir.
Definitely not Democrats.
44 years married.
Is that right? No kidding. That's pretty good. Yeah. Man, oh man, Shevitz. So that's good. So you're all full of crap. You are all full of crap. Show me Palestine on a map. That's pretty good.
Well, thank you.
and it's true, of course. Here's Israel and here's Gaza and settlements and I think it's the best, most prosperous country in that region of the world. Generally speaking, if you're just talking about Israelis, the least violent, the mellowest country in that region of the world, and the Israelis are like, well, we'll give you 25 miles of Mediterranean seafront property, and it'll be twice the size of Washington D.C. and you can have elections, and we'll give you electricity, and we'll give you clean water, and then we can all live together in peace. It's a two-state solution, and this is what the Democrats got. This is what the Israelis got by giving the Palestinians a two-state solution. And the Democrats are still pounding the table and their machetes and saying we need a two-state solution. We have one, and this is what we got. Isn't it amazing? And the history of, and you're absolutely right. You can go back in history. Where's Palestine? There was under colonialism, there was the Palestinian Protectorate. So maybe the left would like to bring back colonialism. You think, Bob?
To do with it, man. I don't think we want to get involved.
They're truly amazing people, aren't they? Yeah, and the history.
My wife is Jewish, by the way.
Your wife is Jewish too, is that right? Okay. And and look, and if you want the history of the Israelites in Israel. That goes back.
I hate how that fucker hesitates like that. I look down at my phone, look back up, and it fucking hesitating.
Fleeing slavery and bondage in Egypt and parting the Red Sea and, and wandering the desert and 40 years and all that good stuff. The history of Jews and the Israelites in Israel goes back to the beginning of time. And they're Semites. The Israelis are Semites. And the Arabs are Semites. And it's an extraordinary thing to see, isn't it, Bob?
It's baffling.
Baffling. And even more baffling than the craziness of the Middle East, which, Bob, we used to look at from a distance here in the United States and shake our heads and say, boy, good thing that we don't suffer from all of that stuff. But the Democrats have made sure, Bob, that we now do suffer from all of that.
5 people watching, and I'm one of them. I got to walk uptown and get something. So I'm going to be gone for a few minutes. If my program goes off, then all I can say is turn your music on. All right. But I'm going to leave the chat up. I won't be here for a few minutes. I got to go to the store for something.
You sure did. Yeah. You got married since then.
I'll be back in a little bit.
I did that as well. Yes, I did. But yes, and I looked at, and when I lived in California, one of my great friends was a former Hell's Angel at that time.
He performed your wedding, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, you're good, man. Yeah, you are. That's right. Yeah, yeah. My childhood starter marriage. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Yeah, but our old friend, his name was Peter Garrick, and he was a Hell's Angel San Diego chapter. Ended up being thrown in San Quentin, smuggling heroin and doing stuff like that. And we became great friends, and he presided over our wedding. And the wedding, in fact, today is August 7th. The anniversary of my first starter wedding was August 6th. August 6th.
Oh, man.
And what else happened on August 6th? Hiroshima happened on August 6th.
Oh, yeah, right. I saw that last night on the television. I should have remembered that.
And I've been saying, there's bombing of Hiroshima with an atomic bomb, and my first wedding, 2 great bombs in history. two great bombs in history.
There must be a chant in there for that somewhere, too.
You work on that. You can get back to us, Bob.
I'll get back to you.
That's great stuff. Bob, good to hear your voice. Thank you for calling in. Good stuff.
Good talking to you.
Thanks, buddy. That's and what is it? All of you are full of crap. Show me Palestine on a map. Well, they got, you give them stuff, seafront property, and look what happens. Crazy, man, crazy. Yes, sir. Yeah, a new census. I haven't looked at what MSNBC is saying about that yet, but I'd like to see that. Now, my friend Brian and I going back and forth this morning, and there's a crazy story. James Carville, the Raging Cajun. Does that mean what raging? They're always raging about something, aren't they? They got a lot of strange habits, these people. But James Carville is now saying out loud that the Democrats, and this is what he's calling for, need to unilaterally pack the Supreme Court and create new blue states. I was talking about this yesterday. Maybe Carville was listening to the radio show, because the Democrats, they're yelling, Trump is a threat to democracy. Well, they open up our borders, flood in tens of millions of people, distribute them around to steal seats in the House of Representatives. But I'm not done yet. James Carville says the Democrats need to unilaterally pack the Supreme Court and to create new blue states, quote, to save democracy. Now, Michael Piercy and I were talking about this, and I was reminded of the quote from a reporter during the Vietnam War. We had to destroy the village in order to save it. And that quote was from an unnamed alleged U.S. Army officer, as reported by a guy who's an old friend of mine, Peter Arnett. Peter Arnett, a New Zealander who was a wire service reporter during the Vietnam War. And when I worked at CNN, Peter Arnett was working at CNN as a reporter. And I got to say, he's infuriated a lot of people over the course of his lifetime. And he gave us the "we had to destroy the village in order to save it" quote, which has been challenged and back and forth. But I got to say, I always liked Peter Arnett a lot. Peter Arnett was a ton of fun. He was a crazy man, and he was fun to drink beer with. But it was Peter Arnett. I think he was an Associated Press reporter at the time in the Vietnam War. And I worked with him decades later at CNN. But we had to destroy the village in order to save it. And here's James Carville with, and he's out here in public saying it, Democrats need to unilaterally pack the Supreme Court and create new blue states to save democracy. We had to destroy the democracy in order to save it. Democratic strategist James Carville urged on Wednesday that Democrats open a Pandora's box and execute multiple controversial power grabs to, quote, save democracy, end quote, including establishing a permanent electoral majority. That is the stuff of totalitarian, fascist, Nazi pig dogs. That's English for the German Schweinhund, right? Pig dogs. But to save democracy, including establishing permanent electoral majority. Now, what's that? There's only the fight. These people are literal authoritarians. Well, they accuse, it's the old Russian playbook. Whatever they accuse you of, it's what they do themselves, right? And we played that soundbite earlier in the week, I think. And I want to follow up on this because this is the literal end of democracy, and they can't do it unilaterally. But he's calling they're just at civil war against the United States of America, and how we push back against this lunacy. The Democrats talk about democracy, says the importance of democracy, preserving democracy, saving democracy. Truth is, the matter is, people are right. They say democracy is really imperfect. I'm going to get back because you got to pack the Supreme Court and steal Congress and create what he calls a permanent majority. That is Hitler, fascist, Nazi, authoritarian, totalitarian stuff. And that's why they're calling everybody else all those names, because they know when they're at home alone, they smell themselves. The Democrat Party is a stain on history. And James Carville is a tiny little stain on history, just a minute little stain. You know, the big wireless companies, they're pulling one over on all of us. It's time to switch to consumer cellular. Listen, I switched. I'm getting the same fast, reliable, nationwide, big wireless coverage without the big wireless cost. It's not just about saving money on the bill every month, although that's real good. It's about not being used and abused by the big cell phone companies. They think they own you. Do you even know how much data you use every month? Probably not. Most people over the age of 50 use less than 8 gigs of data a month. But the big wireless companies, they shove you into an unlimited plan, make you pay a whole lot of money because they need you to cover the cost of 19-year-olds who use 10 times as much data as you use every month. And if you're not using all that data, guess what? You are the one being used. Had enough of that? Go with Consumer Cellular. They set me up with a service and a phone, and it's incredibly easy to switch. You speak to an actual human being on the telephone, not a robot. That person is based right here in the United States, not on a space platform. Real human beings who are actually helpful. Takes only about 20 minutes to make the change, so give them a call today and make the switch. That's 1-800-760-0702. 800-760-0702. Yeah, James Carville. This is we had to destroy the democracy in order to save it. I got the details on that coming up.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. In the mood for a girls' night? Mohawk Casino Resort. But if you're feeling like a candlelit couples date, well, Mohawk Casino Resort. But when you just want the thrill of winning a chunk of change, you guessed it, the everyday escape, Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, where you can join these winners. And just won $11,005. Guy won $13,953. Don won $14,227. Richard won $12,128. And Valerie won a whopping $26,488.
Congratulations, 7-pound baby girl. You're gonna do great. You bought the safest car seat, watched videos to learn how to install it correctly. You bought hypoallergenic baby clothes, even installed a nanny cam so she'd never leave your sight. You have done literally everything to protect her.
And you'll keep doing everything to protect her, long after she's old enough to roll her eyes. And SelectQuote can help. A life insurance policy from SelectQuote can protect those most important to you. SelectQuote is a broker. We work for you. We shop insurance carriers to find coverage that meets your needs at a rate that meets your budget. The best part? SelectQuote costs you absolutely nothing, and we can find you rates up to 50% less than if you shopped for yourself. All in less time than it took to install that car seat. SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
For your free quote, visit SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Remember summers in the 90s? Instacart does. Popping bagel bites into the microwave and then popping them into your mouth too quickly. And then popping out to buy a juice box, all with a little change in your pocket. And thanks to Instacart, those summers are here again. Get 47.2% off $10 orders of select 90s faves. So you can summer like it's $19.99 with prices from $19.99. $4.72 maximum discount for $10 of eligible items. Limit one offer per order. Expires September 5th while supplies last. Discount based on CPI comparison.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
NBA veteran Jim Jackson takes you on the court. You get a chance to dig into my 14-year career in the NBA, and also get the input from the people that will be joining. Charles Barkley.
I'm excited to be on your podcast, man. It's an honor.
Spike Lee, entrepreneur, filmmaker, Academy Award winner.
Knicks fan,
Now, you see, I got you, but also how sports brings life, passion, music, all of this together. The Jim Jackson Show, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This is Malibu Apothecary, a Rio Spectrum business.
Having a reliable, fast internet service that can fit my budget is really great. We can all connect together and be on the same page.
Find internet that fits your budget at spectrum.com/business.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. You now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
In the mood for a girls' night? Mohawk Casino Resort. But if you're feeling like a candlelit couples date, well, Mohawk Casino Resort. But when you just want the thrill of winning a chunk of change, you guessed it, the everyday escape, Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, where you can join these winners. And just won $11,005. Guy won $13,953. Dawn won $14,227. Richard won $12,128. And Valerie won a whopping $26,488.
WMAL, making sense of the border, because laws either matter or they don't. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right, I'm going to get back to James Carville because I want to let it breathe a little. I don't want to rush it. I'll share it with you after the top of the hour and the news. Right now, let's go to the back of and he is what he's proposing is fascist, Nazi, destroy democracy in order to save it. Giant fraud. All right, let's grab Andre calling from St. Louis, Missouri. Andre, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hi, good morning, Chris. That's a great piece. I came in late. I'm not sure if any of your other guests noted this, but the U.S. Census Bureau ran a quality check for the 2020 census. They published it on May 19th, 2022 on census.gov. I'm amazed it's there because what it shows is there were 6 significant undercounted states and 8 significant overcounted states. We're talking millions of people, millions. Of the undercounted states, 82% were Republican. Of the overcounted states, 75 were Democrat, those who voted for Trump. And I did a quick tally while on hold, and it counts up to about 10 seats at about 700,000 citizens per seat. So Trump and Republicans aren't using this as their pointy end of the spear in their argument. They need to make this right. But I wanted to have your listeners know that at census.gov, mate.
That is great, great stuff. Thank you.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
News now.
WMAL News at 11. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. President Trump will meet with Vladimir Putin as early as next week to push for an end to Russia's war with Ukraine.
I don't call it a breakthrough. I mean, we've been working on this a long time. There are thousands of young people dying, mostly soldiers, but also, missiles being hit into Kiev and other places. It's a terrible situation. We want to get it stopped. We don't have American soldiers there, but I feel I have an obligation to get it stopped.
Call that guarded optimism shared by the Ukrainian President Zelensky. Zelensky said Russia seems more inclined toward a ceasefire.
Fox Business, Lauren Simonelli. President Trump now demanding a new U.S. Census.
President Trump says he's instructed the Commerce Department to immediately begin work on a new census. On his Truth Social platform, the president also says people in the country illegally will not be counted in the census. The census required every 10 years is essential to determining how many congressional seats are apportioned to each state. The 14th Amendment says the whole number of persons in each state is counted, and excluding residents without legal status could trigger court challenges. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
With congressional redistricting top of mind these days, Maryland's sole Republican can feel the target on his back.
They tried to do it in 2022. We went to court. The courts found that partisan gerrymandering in Maryland is against the Constitution.
Congressman Andy Harris, the lone Republican with O'Connor and company, on what was and what it led to.
We ended up with a settlement that kept my district Republican and had the Western Maryland district as a toss-up.
Should the state make a move to redraw the 8 House districts, Harris welcomes it for a couple of reasons, including GOP funding being prepared for a legal battle, and
there's a chance that we could end up with 2 and maybe even 3 Republicans instead of getting rid of the one Republican if we do this attempt.
Scott Lynn on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Fairfax County Schools investigating a report that staff at a high school helped students get abortions without their parents' knowledge.
Staff at Centerville High School allegedly arranged and even paid for minor girls to obtain abortions
without parental notification or consent. The alleged incidents could have occurred in 2021. One of the students believed involved was 17 at the time. The school district policy in Fairfax County states they will make efforts to support students suspecting pregnancy to discuss matters with parents or guardians. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Fairfax County Schools tells WMAL it has hired an external investigator to get to the bottom of this. Have a kid graduating from high school who'd like a job chasing down illegal immigrants? Opportunity knocks.
Historically, a person had to be 21 years old to join ICE with a cutoff of 40 years old. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem shared, we are ending the age cap for ICE law enforcement. Qualified candidates can now apply with no age limit. Noem also confirmed on Fox that the minimum age has been reduced to 18. Now, incentives are also being offered, including a $50,000 sign-on bonus, student loan repayment and forgiveness options, and administratively uncontrollable overtime for certain deportation officers.
Fox News' Alexandria Hoff. University of Maryland's effort to quell possible violence on its College Park campus October 7th of last year will end up costing it $100,000. University spending that cash to settle a lawsuit brought by a pro-Palestinian group that had planned a vigil to mark the one-year anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel. The school tried to impose a ban on all protest activities that day, but a federal judge overturned it on First Amendment grounds. The settlement will pay for the protest group's legal fees and go into the legal fund of the Council on American Islamic Relations. The Dow's down 250 points. NASDAQ's up 100. Up next, traffic and weather.
In the mood for a girls' night? Mohawk Casino Resort. But if you're feeling like a candlelit couples date, well, Mohawk Casino Resort. But when you just want the thrill of winning a chunk of change, you guessed it, the everyday escape, Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, where you can join these winners. And just won $11,005. Guy won $13,953. Dawn won $14,227. Richard won $12,128. And Valerie won a whopping $26,488.
Let's move. We have soccer practice, dance, and a play date.
Life moves fast, so every second counts, especially when it comes to big decisions like buying a car. That's why searching through Navy Federal's car buying service powered by TrueCar is a perfect place to start.
Thanks, Mom.
Navy Federal can help you find and finance the right vehicle so you can go wherever life takes you. Visit NavyFederal.org/TrueCar to learn more. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
On 270 southbound after Father Hurley Boulevard before 118 Germantown, the left lane is blocked with an accident causing delays now unexpectedly as you stay to the right. After that, though, you're good down to the lane divide, then down the spur to the outer loop, still at speed. Just after that, though, on the outer loop, the delays begin at River Road to get across the American Legion Bridge, where the construction is before the George Washington Parkway in the right lane. 66 eastbound at Route 50, Fair Oaks. Accident activity there blocks the left lane, pretty slow from Monument Drive. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
More sun than clouds throughout your Thursday afternoon. We'll be in the lower to mid 80s. Tonight, temperatures fall to the mid 60s with partly cloudy skies. And for your finally Friday, sunshine temperatures back in the mid 80s. I'm 7 News meteorologist Mark Pena in the First Alert Weather Center.
76 at Reagan National. John Matthews News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Everything's on the table. I mean, we got to fight fire with fire. They've frankly tossed the rule book out, and they're just acting in an unconstitutional fashion. And what we're going to have to do is whatever it takes to preserve democracy.
Yes, the Democrats, that was the corpulent Sir Cumference, the Democrat governor of the great state of Illinois. The inherited billionaire, J.B. Pritzker. Fire with fire. And then they firebombed the cars at that Jewish family's house. Just like they firebombed the Jewish governor's house in Pennsylvania. Just like that guy blew himself up in a Tesla at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, killing himself. Another suicide attack. Fire with fire. The Democrats should stop using all the Nazi fascist stuff, because if you're looking for the whiff of totalitarianism in the United States, look no further than the entirety of the Democrat Party. And I was just talking to you about James Carville. You know James Carville, the Democrat, the Ragin' Cajun, and he's a ragin' this and a ragin' that, but pretty amazing stuff. The Ragin' Cajun, he did, what is it, a podcast or something? Everybody's got videos of themselves, and maybe he shouldn't have, honestly, in this case. Maybe James Carville shouldn't have come out to say that in order to save democracy, the Democrats need to steal the Supreme Court, steal the Congress of the United States in the most corrupt imaginable way. And that's part of their open borders, illegal alien thing, pack the states, declare that we get more members of the House, just like we did when we started counting slaves as 3/5 of a person. And the Democrat Party, the party of the bullwhip and the plantation, they're not the good guys. Democrat Party, a stain on the buttocks of history. I added buttocks. See, that time I added the buttocks of history. It's pretty amazing stuff. They're on the wrong side of everything. And keep away from the children, because, when they leave, your children may not have their original genitalia, the Democrat Party. And the Democrats, like at Fairfax County public schools, they may give your daughters abortions and have the schools pay for them and not tell the parents because they're Democrats. All right, now let's get to James Carville, because the video posted on Al Gore's amazing internet, peace be upon him, is pretty crazy stuff. They and again, the only thing that I could think of was a report by an erstwhile colleague of mine, Peter Arnett, the reporter from New Zealand, who during the Vietnam War allegedly quoted a U.S. Army officer saying we had to destroy the village in order to save it, right? Something very close to that. That's the most commonly quoted version of the Peter Arnett thing. Now, here is James Carville, and he's out in public saying this. I think he was wearing a gray sweatshirt, wasn't he? Wearing a gray sweatshirt. And he's from Louisiana. Right? He's from Louisiana. And he's wearing gray. I think they're bringing back the Confederate States of America. I think the Democrats are going to have bandoleros and be on horseback soon, the way things are going, firing on Fort Sumter. How many cuts are there? Only one. Okay. And it's James Carville. He lays it all out here. He wants to steal the Congress, the House and the Senate, and he wants to steal the Supreme Court because our system of government is dead to them. Our Constitution is dead to them. Our Bill of Rights, dead to them. Our sovereignty is dead to them. Your role as a parent is dead to them. Aren't they amazing? Here's James Carville.
Democrats talk about democracy and these people, importance of democracy and preserving democracy and saving democracy. Well, the truth of the matter is they're going to have to do, if the Democrats win the presidency, the Senate and the House in 2028, they are just going to have to unilaterally add Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia states. They're going to have to, the Congress does give, the Constitution gives Congress power over federal elections. I don't think they can redistrict, but there are things they're going to do. They're going to have to do it. They're just going to have to do it. And they may have to expand the court to 13 members. If you want to save democracy, I think you got to do all of those things.
You're going to have to destroy democracy and the most important democratic nation on the face of the earth, because the filthy criminals are so drunk with power and then the lack of power. Amazing. This is what he's proposing, and he is a major leader.
Nobody cares about Rum's stupid fucking videos. You can't make none about himself. He's a fucking
Puerto
punk.
Rico and DC states because
Fuck
they
that
know
guy.
that would give them 4 more seats.
The fuck
Democrat,
out of here, you
left-wing,
moron.
radical, stupid, criminal seats. in
You're ignorant.
The Senate. That would be there permanently, in perpetuity.
DA, you're a moron. Wiggin, you're a fucking moron. You support them stupid fucks. Thank you. Yes, good morning, Rusty. Yeah. I just went for a nice walk. It's fucking hot out. It's hot outside. It's cool in here. My apartment stays cool.
Old hellhole. And he represents the mainstream of the Democratic Party, which is a stain on the buttocks of history. The Democrat Party is a threat to our democracy. And, you know, they go around calling
It shouldn't matter either party. They both have the same job. They take an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States.
They say that everybody else is going to destroy
That's the oath they take.
And then when they lose an election, they say, well, we're going to steal everything. We're going to
I want to go again. It's friggin' nice out.
We will destroy
People are out. Our farmer market is today. So if you Google Earth up on Main Street, you probably see them live if you do it live.
The Democrat Party with the Democrat President Jefferson Davis. I think.
I'm leaving this chat up all day.
Might be found later today.
This chat's staying up all day.
Because this is
come and go if I'm here or not.
Dangerous. And I don't think of most speech as dangerous.
My chipmunk is out there. I want to sit out on the porch because I like feeding him. He'll jump right in my lap. He's there right now.
Ought to be
he likes walnuts.
Taken on immediately by Democratic Party leaders, but it will not be.
I got walnuts, pecans, and peanuts out there, and he goes after. He's taking peanuts right now because I got some in a different spot because of the Blue Jays.
A member of the Supreme Court leads the Supreme Court. Then the president gets to nominate someone in the Senate.
That fucker stomps his hind feet and everything. It's fucking hilarious.
And that's how that works. Then you get one more seat on the Supreme Court, and over time, it goes back and forth.
Yeah, he keeps restreaming my shit.
For a century,
that motherfucker needs me for his content.
Right now, they don't dominate the balance on the Supreme Court. So
he's probably madder in hell now,
like the criminal
more than he was. How can you be more mad? You're mad. How can you be more mad?
Inside the National Archives, where we keep it in a nuclear blast-proof case, because of the Soviet Union and people like Carville, they would destroy our democracy. He says, in order to save it. No sense of irony. Aren't they amazing? All right,
I could move this computer outside. Now I gotta take I guess I could broadcast that right on my computer if I fucking tried.
Bill Clinton into the White House, Hillary Clinton bootlick, and he's a major Democrat political figure in Washington, D.C.
Let's give him something to talk about. How about love?
The Keystone State in election years. In Pennsylvania, Dave.
Oh, Gretchen Wilson.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much.
I'm just wondering if Mr. Carville.
I might peek in Vegas here in a minute, see what's going on.
Work hard at it to get there.
I think work hard is the correct answer there. I don't think a baby could be that stupid. I don't think that a 1-year-old could be that stupid. But here's the thing, Dave. He's not a low IQ person. He's not an unintelligent person. He is a sinister, evil, dangerous person. And I never really even use language like this, but the Democrat rhetoric has been dialed up to the point where President Trump was shot once, almost shot a second time, third would-be assassin arrested in, I think, Idaho. Bernie Sanders volunteer on the baseball field shooting Steve Scalise. They're blowing themselves up at the Trump Hotel. They're killing a young Jewish couple in Washington, D.C., gunning them down because they're too pro-Israel. They're firebombing the Democrat Pennsylvania Jewish governor's mansion in Pennsylvania, firebombing with Molotov cocktails because he's too pro-Israel. They're pro-Hamas. They're pro-Mahmoud Khalil, who is calling for the total destruction of the state of Israel and the death to all Jews. The Democrat Party's in bed with all of them. The Democrat Party.
I know it. Holy fuck.
Dave, I've got to say, they
Revenant and them. Holy shit. Just constantly with the cock soup. Jesus Christ.
I prefer red dye. Red dye number 5 personally. But he said,
hey, JC, Psych had fucking 3 times as many people looking at his chat, and you usually get.
Sirhan, who is now in the.
I went in there this morning, there was fucking 70 people watching that place.
Is what the entire Democrat Party is.
So I posted.
He wanted, free Palestine. He's not even a Muslim, Sirhan. He's a Palestinian Christian. And then, of course.
Hey, Cat, you got to be the biggest fucking hypocrite out here.
And he was assassinated.
You really are.
Communist by Lee Harvey Oswald. And now
you got such a great personal life. You're fucking. Look at you up on Sykes' panel.
On the political spectrum today, to Sirhan.
Fucking idiot.
To Bobby.
Hey, Cat, you're an idiot.
The Democrat Party today is closer on the political spectrum to
run around calling women men.
Fair play for Cuba than they are to John F.
Grandma
Kennedy,
looking
the
creature.
assassinated president. And that is literally true. John F. Kennedy wouldn't be allowed in the Democrat Party today. Bobby Kennedy Jr. said that his father and his uncle would find the Democrat Party today unrecognizable. My late mother, a lifelong Democrat, would find today's Democrat Party unrecognizable.
I don't think my father would recognize this party, and I don't think my uncle would recognize this party.
And I gotta say, Dave,
it's hard to get into that.
There are things that I said years ago that I were just kind of off the cuff comments about the Democrats, and so many of these things, and it was like for a day, but now it's come true. They John F. Kennedy, president, and Senator Bobby Kennedy would find today's Democrat Party unrecognizable, and quite honestly, the Democrat Party would not allow John F. Kennedy or Bobby Kennedy in the Democrat Party today because of their political views, and John F. Kennedy would be entirely at home in the Republican Party today, the way things are going. But Dave, and you asked, is he that stupid or was he born that way? Did it take time to become that stupid? He's been a very effective political operative, and he's respected, revered in media and Democrat Party circles. But I repeat myself. But I've got to say, Dave, the Democrat Party is getting more and more dangerous. They're getting more and more violent. And now what James Carville is calling as one of the graybeards of the Democrat Party, one of the senior deacons of their death cult, what he's calling for is some of the most undemocratic. And again, Dave, we're going to make Puerto Rico a state, and we're going to do it when we have the power. We're going to abuse it. We're going to add 2 states to the United States of America, make D.C. a reliably, 98% left-wing vote in every election. And we're going to make D.C. a state. I think murders will skyrocket when it becomes a state. And Puerto Rico is a state.
A lot of glare on that fucker. Inside that flowering plant, that's a seed pod plant. Flowering. Those are morning glories coming up. This place will be covered with morning glories in about a month. I just stepped on a peanut. You're the other one, aren't you? You're not the same one. Huh? Well, come on. Well, hello. Huh? Come on. Want it? Hummingbird was just at my head. I'm disturbing a hummingbird. Man, they're fast. Shut up, fucking stupid fucker. Hello. Yeah. That fucking hard to see the screen. It's fucking nice out. I'm not gonna have a panel now, but when I come back later, I'll offer my panel. I want to leave this up, but I gotta leave and go do some stuff. That way, keep Patrick from fucking trying to post in my chat. Patrick, you really need to find something else to do. It's not working out for you. It's just the same shit. You just look stupid doing what you're doing. Put up your own chat and do your shit over there. Let's see who goes to your chat. You stupid fuck. And Wiggin, I'll be back, you goofy fucker. Yeah, I don't mean that as a term of endearment either. Fuck you, Wiggin. You're a punk motherfucker. You turned out to be a fucking total fucking ditz.